Hello. I just realized that my clock in the other room does not match the actual time. So that's why I'm here a little bit after 9. So thank you for waiting and 9 my time. And I'm also relishing the sound of, we had sprinkles, but now we have the sound of actual rain. So here in California, that is extremely welcome because we've been in a mega drought. And so having, both the weather be very mild this year, and then also having rains come in October is, oh, so I'm, oh, feeling, because there is a little bit of a weight, a cringing weight, like, let's just not do any shh. Don't let anybody know it's not raining. So when what it would led me to think of is how are you set up for actually receiving? So when nourishment comes, are you able to receive it? So we've done a lot of things with our home and our house and our yard so that we're able to receive. And I thought it would be very useful for us to take a look at today of, are you open to receiving? Because I'm guessing that a lot of you who are here are really excellent at giving. You are very skilled at giving, and I'd like you to just notice the experience of that, because what I experience is a kind of a welling up and then I send it out. And it's kind of close to appreciation. So I'd like you to look at other people who are on the call today or this evening, depending on where you are. And I'd like you to let yourself feel a welling up of appreciation. And I'd like you to just let that come through you, whether that's through your eyes, or I like to use my body to express because it really gets the energy moving. So if you feel this welling up and then let it land on somebody, you can let it sprinkle over them. You can let it like, you could let it embrace them. So let yourself play with how you give and what that feels like to you. And practice that with a couple of different people, especially people you don't know, even people whose just names are there. You can send a wave out to them, let it circle around, and then let yourself pause for a moment and notice, how's your energy level? So you've just given, and let your attention return to you and notice, okay, what's happening with my energy level right now? So I notice that I feel full and I feel warm, but I can also feel like that I've tipped over the edge of my reservoir. I've got spillover. And what am I going to do with that spillover? So I want to invite you to use that same giving back to you. So welling up, but let it come to you. So letting it fill up and then letting it land on you. So the tendency is to give and then to hope that there'll be some coming your way. So we forget that we can be a source of our own nourishment. So when you're bringing that wave of appreciation, notice if there's any place in you that's leaky. Is there any place in you where you receive, but then it leaks out? And I'd like you to bring in that energy, and I'd like you to actually, I was just thinking of that. Oh, there are all of these substances that you can use to seal. You spread it on and then it's waterproof and nothing will ever leak through. I'm wondering if there's a way to leak proof attention, I find that the gives me a sense of vibration there, like hmm, mm. And that kind of closes the leak. Where in you do you feel a leak? Like I tend to get a little leaky in the middle of my back because I can tend to overextend. So I'm going to come back into feeling myself straight through like a sumo, and I'm going to bring that loving attention to the middle of my back. And when I can actually feel the coming through my back and my ribs and down into my waist area. That's cool. I didn't know that my vibrated that far in me. So bringing and you can also do love scoops because you can reach out. So noticing all this nourishment around me from the rain, and I'm going to scoop it as love and give it to any place in me that tends to be a little leaky. I was also thinking you may be a little leaky in your eyes, so that we think that we're getting nourishment by looking, but what we're actually doing is leaking out through our eyes. So I'd love for you to do that get that wave of appreciation, getting some love scoops, getting some oozing. And then one of the best ways to give that to yourself is to just cup over your eyes. And let all of that nourishment land. What I can feel when I do that is the muscles around my eyes softening, tend to get a little tense because we're also taught to be grabbing and like, oh, I'm going to be missing something, so I need to get my eyes out there. So if I let my eyes settle and I do love scoops and I give all of that great energy to my eyes, and I let what they call cupping, so that if I open my eyes, it's actually dark, and feeling the nourishment of the rest, the receiving, the pausing. I find my breathing slowing down. Yeah, so I can see some of you are really enjoying this and still doing it. I do this regularly. So if you combine your love scoops, you scoop up some love and especially give it to your eyes. I can feel, for me, this settling. And there may be a sound that wants to come, a kind of a So this is a really valuable time to make sure that you're giving at least as much to you as you are to others, so that you are filling your reservoir. This is especially here in California, this is the filling the reservoir time. And all of us who live in Southern California have one eye on the reservoir all the time. How's the reservoir doing? Is the reservoir, it's the lowest it's ever been. Oh, so just do a little check of your own reservoir, your own inner reservoir, and giving yourself, especially letting the love scoops come in and letting yourself find a sound, or a or any spontaneous sound that wants to come, and letting yourself notice any place in you where it tends to be leaky. Where's the thought that tends to come with that? The thought or the belief? Like some of the common ones were, well, it's better to give than receive. And as long as there's somebody who's suffering, I can't really receive for me. And we forget that if I don't have a full reservoir, I don't have anything to give. So part of the loop of awareness is I include me. So one of the things you might play with now, this is one of my favorite moves, is that I use my hands going both directions. And we think of I either can be out or I can be in. But now you can start playing with, hey, it can actually circulate and you get yourself a loop going. So let yourself play with looping and humming, and your attention may go out and then you bring it back to you. So you're playing with, some for you and some for me. And since I'm especially phlegmy this morning, I think my sinuses, it was so dry here that my sinuses were squeaking. They're actually squeaking. I breathe in and they go squeak. So I think all the moisture, my sinuses are going, oh my God, what's this? Oh. And so when you have unexpected things going on, just give a little extra attention. So I'm going to give a little looping. Oh, my throat loves that. It's going, oh, I don't have to feel like I'm wrong. Like there's something wrong with me. I'm just a little phlegmy. So I have a little extra tension and things go into flow again. So you can add into the love scoops. So reaching out, because there's plenty of love around, and giving it to you and making sure that you connect. And it's great to give it out. You can give it out to your whole community, out to people that you know are having challenges right now, and then love scoop and come back to you. Let yourself be home base. Because truly what I found is that if I love myself fully, I have plenty to give. And if I don't love myself fully, I'm always going to be a little resentful of everybody else because they look like they got more love than I do. So letting yourself favor you, me first, me first. That's probably also something you heard is, it's selfish to think of yourself first. So think of everybody else first. And if there's any left over, it'll come to you. So let's just reverse that for right now and go me first, me first. And I'd like you to actually just play with that. Me first, me first. I want this, I want more for me, me first. And see if you can really enjoy that. And you'll probably have little anxious thoughts that come up. Go, I couldn't possibly. So let yourself play with me first, plenty for me, plenty for me. And now plenty for you. There's plenty. There's plenty. There's plenty of love. So this week, I particularly want you to play with me first and to make sure that you give to you. And then you give, there's plenty to give to others, but make sure that you go me first. And I wanted to let you know that in the chat, we have an announcement about a course that I'm going to be doing through the Shift Network that I'd love you to take a look at and see if it's of any interest to you to come and join us. And as we're ending for today, we're actually continuing. I'd like you to think of yourself as a reservoir with a fountain in it. And so the reservoir is continuously filling. It's also fountaining, and that you can aim your fountain wherever you like. And I want to appreciate you for being here today and for sharing love with us. So as we're completing for today, find any sound that you want to share with the whole group. And I'm going to be leaving, and I want to invite you to share that sound before you go into the rest of your week. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Mwah. Mwah. Mwah.